Let's talk job search in the world of IoT. This interview was recorded during the IoT Stars live event, and I have Marcus with me discussing what kind of profiles companies are looking these days, what kind of things you need to pay attention when looking for a job or looking for the perfect candidate for a company. Everything IoT related, but job market oriented. With Marcus Webster, I really urge you to take a look whether or not you are on the hunt for a job or looking for your next candidate. This episode is supported by IoT Stars. Thanks a lot, folks. IoT Stars is the networking event you want to attend if you're interested in IoT in any shape or form. That's where you're going to meet the right people to help you in your project. That's where you're going to be extending your network or eventually finding your next job. See you soon at IoT Stars. And if you like the episode, as usual, please subscribe, share with your friends. We need more people in here communicating, sharing, commenting, liking. So do so. Thank you.
No worries. Okay. Let me actually.
Like I'm actually here. So
You are. Yes, you are. You are. Hi, everyone.
Okay, I'm sorry. Looking right here.
You can look there. You can look at me.
Okay.
We're going to converse anyways.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And people down there are listening anyways. So no problem.
Okay.
Marcus, how are you?
Yeah, good. Good to meet you.
Well, thanks for joining us on the IoT Show. We're live at IoT Stars in Anaheim here. And Marcus, what do you do in life? What is your job?
Okay. My mission is to help people. So we help both clients and candidates bridge that talent gap. So if you're looking for a great talent, a great job to use your skills, or you're looking for great people to build your team, we're the people that fill that gap.
Yeah. So it goes beyond just like recruiting, right?
Right. Yes, it is. We take a more consultative approach to how we do business.
Okay.
We don't try to fit square pegs around hole. We find out the culture, but basically we do that across embedded IoT for sales, marketing, engineering, product management, executive level. I know it sounds like a lot, but the common theme is that they're all embedded. So they're all within our network.
Okay. Interesting. What is it that you're doing and proposing that goes beyond what an online service, say Indeed, LinkedIn, whatever, will do that our listeners might appreciate or need?
Yeah, well, on the hire manager side, our clients hire us because we know and understand the business, and we find we find those unicorns no one else can find. We find those diamonds in the rough. So like recently we placed somebody with embedded AI and IoT skills.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
nice combination.
Yeah, it's a trifecta of skills. Yep. So we find those people and that aren't always looking. We go for candidates who are either passively looking or not looking at all, and show them new opportunities. And on the client side, like I said, they hire us to find those unicorns to help build out their company to reach that valuation or exit strategy for IPO or whatever it is. We help them build their teams.
Okay. So that goes way beyond just like recruiting, finding a candidate for a job description.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I love that.
Yeah.
What are your biggest challenges these days? 2025, AI all over the place, fakes.
Yeah.
What are your big challenges?
Yeah, the big challenge, which is a challenge with everyone. You know what I mean? So if anyone who's trying to hire now, we have a big problem with people either impersonating other candidates, or just overall fake candidates, or some in the middle too, or just lying about their degree. Yeah. But the ones that are totally fake are a clear insider threat to our client base, because if they hire one of those people that get in their system, in their network, they could take IP. There's so many things, so much damage they could do.
Okay. So it goes just beyond hiring bad candidates. It can go into industrial spying and this kind of things, right?
Exactly. Yeah. A bad candidate is the worst of your problems, right? I mean, the least of your problems.
Well, you would detect them rapidly when they're here. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but if you get an impersonator that's maybe doing 2 or 3 jobs and working for a state-sponsored agency to do that espionage like you're saying, and it could take somebody's valuation totally away if they get in there something wrong in the network.
Yeah. So what are the profiles companies are looking for in the world of IoT embedded? You mentioned embedded IoT AI as a combination of skills.
Yeah.
So what is the unicorn out there?
Right now, we recently placed someone who had the embedded IoT and AI skill, which is...
I'm sure I know that.
Right. That one person. And then with another company, we placed somebody who had similar skills, but they had the security layer. So they had DevOps, they had security, and they had cloud, and they had, and they had like real security, like writing encryption. You know what I mean? You know, so then I'm just like pulling the library for encryption.
But it feels like this might be very expensive people, right?
It really depends. The thing is, like the remote is a blessing and a curse, only because that if you do a remote approach, you can cast a wider net to get the talent you want. But if you localize San Francisco to Boston, whatever those regions are, you're kind of locked into those salary bands in those areas. So, so it depends on where you are geographically. But, the thing is, but a lot of times we'll get engineers, but we work with some very interesting customers, clients. I've had some of them take a pay cut because they want that interesting work. Because the engineers want interesting work, they want challenging work, and they want variety. If you're stuck doing that same silo thing, engineers like, I need more.
Yeah, that's why this combination of IoT, embedded AI, and security is very interesting.
Right.
Because it gives you the opportunity to not just like focus on the little part of a project, but have this big picture. That's what I always loved in embedded development in general, and more with IoT, with the cloud aspect of things that came into play. It's not just that little tiny piece of code within a big project, within a big product.
Right.
It's really about this entirety of the spectrum that we can look at, work with, evaluate, and so forth.
Yeah. And I've been doing this for a long time. So when I was doing it, it was like called the post-PC era. So it's just, some device or a handheld thing. And now it's like you said, it's all converging, cloud, AI, embedded, IoT, firmware, hardware. So yes, it's a lot of variation there.
And so the other way around, we just defined what could be the unicorn candidate. What are the type of companies are looking for this kind?
I'm sorry, say that part.
What are the kind of companies that are looking for this kind of or embedded IoT development?
Everyone now. So hardware companies want to be more software centric. So they're trying to get more software related people or technologies that they can sell. Everybody wants to be on a subscription based model. And then but like a lot of our clients are going towards cloud models where they were before strictly, sell a seat, sell a low license, do a royalty. But they're doing cloud because they want to have that subscription model. So that it's just that convergence because and then now, like I said, you're adding AI into it. So like if you hire hired engineers, you may not expect them to know AI, but they expect them to use AI tools in their development. So, but they have to be good though, because if you get an engineer that doesn't understand the hardware, we get that a lot too. We get a lot of engineers that have to know the hardware because if you can't get the hardware to work, you can't get everything else to boot on top of it. So
is it good today to have the word IoT on your resume, or should you actually stay away from the buzzword and talk about hardware, software, cloud?
I always tell people to talk about the work that they've done in terms of skills and environment. Because you can use the same skills in different environments. So, like that candidate I told you before, he's done he's done pure embedded. He's doing DevOps. But he's still, but it really depends on where he is and what they want to do. So really surround yourself with the skills that you want, and then you can plot that into any industry, any kind of slot.
So do not get attached or in love with one term, one big
buzzword.
Try and talk more about your experience, your domain of experience.
Exactly.
Last question for you: demographics. Are embedded IoT people all old, or is there a young generation that is really getting into embedded IoT?
Well, let me say that in two ways, because what I'm telling people now, because like kids that started software engineering job 3 years ago are having a hard time finding a job now because of AI. Okay, so I'm telling those same people, get close to the metal, because that way you help protect your career.
Go get a Raspberry Pi and Arduino and start working now.
Exactly.
Because their skills transfer.
Exactly. And the nice thing too, like I always tell people, when embedded engineers can go up, and price people can't come down in terms of. So if you know those skills at a hardware level, you understand the bits and bytes. You can build on top of that in terms of software.
I'm with you. I started developing real-time operating systems. That's what I studied in school, and that's what I started with. And now I understand that. I understand how AI works. I understand how cloud works.
Right.
Your cloud is just another computer.
Exactly. It's the new mainframe.
Yeah, exactly. But then when you are working on these abstracted layers, it's harder to go under.
Yes,
right?
exactly. And if you're not technical enough, you really won't understand it. You probably read a data sheet. You know how many people in enterprise are reading data sheets on boards to understand the different devices that are involved to make it work on that particular architecture.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Marcus, fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a super interesting conversation. Thanks a lot for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
And everyone stay online. We have our next guest lining up.